can hear perfectly well.
If you need glasses, why the hell don't you wear them?
What?
And a hearing aid as well.
I told you. I can hear perfectly well.
So can I, if you don't mind.
And I can see perfectly well too.
So you read that rag upside down.
I can see things upside down.
Oh, maybe you should join a circus or a zoo.
Look, whoever you are, I don't know why you are so abominably rude to a woman you have never met before. If you want me to vacate that goddamn chair, just say so.
I do.
Good. I'm glad that is clear. Chairs are not meant for inanimate objects.
That's what I had thought too.
Especially when there's not a vacant chair anywhere inside. And the place is full of highly inflammable people waiting for their delayed flights. Indefinitely delayed flights. Do you know, I had to come through the town at breakneck speed to get here on time? Because I didn't know the flight was delayed.
I wish you had broken your neck too.
Did you do that too?
What?
Come through the town at breakneck speed? Oh, did you know the flight was delayed?
Would I be here if I knew?
Right. You come all the way and you're told, Madam, you have to wait. The flight is delayed. Indefinitely delayed. They make it sound as if we have to wait here infinitely. Madam, you have to wait infinitely. Why do you think it is delayed?
How do I know? Why don't you go and ask your good friend at the counter?
I just hope it is not one of those bomb things.
What? What did you say?
You know these people who have got late for the flight and they call the airport and say that there's a bomb on the plane? I mean, everybody knows it's a hoax. But you can't take a chance, can you? The aircraft needs to be searched and people are to be kept waiting. Some people can be so inconsiderate.
I agree. Obtuse also.
But just as somebody or the other said, if rapes are inevitable...
Look, if you want to sit here, keep your mouth shut.
Why?
Because I don't want to talk to you, that's bloody why.
What a sweet temperament you have. What is your zodiac sign? I have a feeling you don't like people.
I don't.
Don't what?
I don't like people. I hate people.
So you hate everybody or just some particular people? What about your family? Do you hate them too? Strange that you can hate people. I mean, look at me. I hate the color purple. I hate it so much. I never wear it. The other day I was...
Look, why don't you shut up and go back to where you came from?
To the hotel. You want me to go 25 kilometers to that hotel?
Where they chucked you out, is it? Where did you ply your trade? Huh? In the back kitchen.
What happened, lover? No sex in the last 6 hours?
Shut up.
Who are you? Must be so frustrating. no woman would want to be seen dead in bed with you. Except, what's the use of her dead anyway?
Fuck off, alright? Just fuck bloody off!
Alright, I will. But let me inform you that there has been a wildcat strike by the ground staff. And you might have to wait here till doomsday. I will also be delighted if you're plagued by a joint family with a large, toothy grandmother, a complaining daughter-in-law, and 2 brats with running noses.
Don't touch my things. Don't you dare touch my things again. Do you understand? Do you understand?
I better warn you, I have high connections. One of my brothers, my stepbrother actually, he's rich enough to buy all of the Middle East. And my own brother, who would do anything for me, he's as strong and as powerful as 10 men. What? You don't believe it, do you?
No, I completely believe you. That's why you're trapped in economy.
Laugh all you want. But when you will know what I can do, you will laugh on the other side of your face.
I see.
I am not as innocent as I look.
Innocent?
I am an enchantress. Do you hear that? I am an enchantress.
I heard that, and you enchanted me?
Everybody. Every heterosexual man. Even the married men. Especially the married men.
Ah.
What?
That's why you couldn't enchant me. I'm not married.
Do you know what it's like to be a woman? To want a man so much that the rest of the world just disappears? The rest of the world just disappears? Anyway, I suppose that's life. Tell me, what is in your bag? Looks pretty heavy.
Nothing.
Nothing. And still so heavy. Gold? Electronics?
Books. Books.
Books. What kind of books?
Not meant for you.
What do you mean?
Intellectual books, alright? Poetry, drama, the epics.
The epics?
Yes, Indian epics. You wouldn't have heard of them.
Of course I have. I went to a convent school. You know, the Ramayana? I love the Ramayana. Don't you? I think it's so cute. So romantic.
What?
Just like Camille's and Moon. You know, the eternal triangle? One man, two women.
What are you talking about?
Don't you know the story? Look, here's this young man, this prince, who gets banished from his kingdom for some odd reason. That's pretty unimportant. So he goes off into the forest with his brother, wearing almost nothing. He has taken off all his princely robes. And I forgot to mention, he is married.
Listen, I'm not interested, alright? Neither in this man nor his brother.
Who the hell is bothered about the brother anyway? But I must say, as a substitute, he wasn't that bad. The same set of shoulders, the same narrow hips, Anyway, so there they are in this forest, in their pretty little cottage, when this absolutely stunning woman comes along. The two of them, especially the elder one, is bowled over. Completely bowled over.
What are you talking about? I've never heard that.
Were you there?
Of course not.
Then how do you know?
You were there.
It's my story. I was her.
Who? The wife?
Don't be ridiculous. Do I look like a wife?
How would I know? I told you I'm not married.
You don't have to be married to know what a wife looks like. They are all over the place. Wives. Bloody wives. All over the place. Cooing. Cooing like pigeons. Come home soon, darling. I have prepared your favorite dinner. Do you know, your son has come 31st in class? What an improvement, just like his father. And then, these wives, they always get headaches when they go to bed. Such a long day, darling. I had to wait at the jeweler's looking for the biggest diamond. And then I had to go to a movie. You don't mind, do you, darling? You're so sweet. Good night then.
Oh, now I know why I didn't get married.
Who would like to be a wife? To be a pigeon? To be grey and stupid and cooing? Cooing all the bloody time?
Well, there are other kinds of wives.
Yes, there are. They are the crows. Cow, cows, cow, cow. Why are you so late? What did you do with your salary? Why haven't you paid the school fees? Who was that bitch I saw you with?
Okay, so you are neither of them. Neither the pigeon nor the crow.
I am the other woman. Beautiful, sexy, hot.
And you never get headaches.
Don't you dare laugh at me like that. It was one of those cool green mornings in the forest. Everything was waiting. Everything was hushed. The sunlight darted through the leaves like a tongue of desire. It glinted on my nose stud, sparkled along the bangles on my arm. It lingered at the jewel in my bosom. And then I saw him. He was alone, standing at the door of his cottage. How do I describe him? He was the most desirable man I had ever seen. And yet, it was not his eyes, or his nose, or those wide shoulders that took away the breath from my throat. It was what happened to me in that instant. I wanted him to tear off my clothes and tear through me, and yet I also wanted him to be tender and melting. I would suckle him. I would hold him in my arms in the darting sunlight, in the light of the moon and the stars. I would kiss those feet that held all the sunsets of the universe.
Well, all that is very beautiful, my lady, but what did you have to offer to this idol of male perfection?
Who the hell are you? You laugh at me like that? You misogynist! I will show you who I am and what I can do.
Attention please, Air India flight number 250 to Chennai is delayed by 2 hours. The inconvenience is regrettable.
Sorry, what were you saying? I was saying, this is such a bore. flight delay.
Oh, yes.
And you?
Sorry?
What were you saying?
I was wondering, I was wondering if you would like to have a swig.
I'd love to.
Oh, yes. It is aboard this flight delay.
Do you know, this is the third time this has happened to me this week.
So you travel a lot?
A lot. Work, you see, and other things.
So you travel all over the country, or
I usually travel to the south, but sometimes I do get to go abroad. But that is just sometimes. And you? What do you do?
just this and that, actually.
Ooh, that sounds marvelous.
Well, at this moment, this is marvelous.
The flight delay?
And everything else?
This? What happened? Scared? Like the other one?
Of course not. I'm not scared. It's just, it's too soon. We have just met.
So what? The time to love is now. Now, darling. Right here.
Love? You mean, you love?
It's just a 4-letter word, sweetie.
I don't even know your name.
I am Kamali, the goddess of desire. Come, I'm all shivery for you.
Listen, you look like an educated woman and from a respectable family.
I've heard that argument before. From that Vishnu avatar.
I don't think it's right for you
To what? To have casual sex with strangers? Is that it? Is that it?
Yes.
Oh God, what a wimp you are. Just like the other one.
Other one?
I told you, the married one. He had the same fucking scruples. Wouldn't let me get near him.
But he was married, right? He was committed to...
Commitment! Bleeding commitment! Mucking everything up! Mucking every sort of thing up!
Stop crying, woman. I said stop crying, you bitch! Stop, or else I will...
Don't hurt me, please.
Then stop crying. And behave like a decent woman.
Do you know what they did to me? The two brothers? They laughed. They laughed at me. They mocked me. They teased me. The elder brother said, I can't marry you. Go to my younger brother. The younger brother said,
deserve any more respect. And then do you know what the younger brother did?
Yes.
He chopped off my breast
Your breasts.
and my nose and my ears. Everything that stood out. Everything that stuck out. I was bleeding all down my face, all down my chest. Is it so wrong to tell a man, I love you? I was wailing. I was raging. I was sobbing. I wanted to hit him. I wanted to lie under him and watch his face change.
You wanted revenge. Revenge.
I wanted love. Just a little love. For a little while.
I wanted revenge too. Hot, bloody, fanned revenge. the other epic.
You mean
Jaya, also known as the Mahabharata. The story of that goddamn Kuru clan. They brought my sister all the way from the hills and they never told her. They cheated us. They cheated us.
But what did they do?
I should have known not to trust them. I should have taken her away the moment I knew, before they put their jeweled noose around her neck.
What happened?
They brought my sister ceremoniously, grandly, for a grand royal wedding, to be married to a blind man.
A blind man?
A blind man, blind from birth.
And your sister? What did she do? Did she refuse to get married?
You think she could have refused? An alliance between two royal families? Publicly announced, publicized, talked about?
But did no one tell you about the man being blind?
My dear woman, when there is an alliance of this sort, the bride for the prince himself, do you think that girl's family would make inquiries about him? They had no choice. My family, they were simple hill folk, you see.
And when you found out?
I was the only one who came with my sister. And when I found out, well, what could I do? I ranted and raved. They piled me with sweets and sweet talks, gifted me a magnificent palace. What the hell could I do? I was in their kingdom, in their bloody hands.
And your sister?
She did something terrible.
You mean she killed herself?
No, nothing as cowardly. She merely, deliberately blindfolded herself. She wore a dark, thick bandage over her eyes and kept it there 24 hours all her life, blinded, living in a constant darkness, in a state of an unrelenting night. She was so free as birds flying across the hills. Why did she choose to blot out the sun?
She was that angry.
Yes.
As angry as I was.
You, Shoorpanakha, the demoness,
I belong to the mighty Asura clan.
and you know all the tricks. You use your beauty, don't you? No, illusion of beauty. You trick poor fools. And when they get close to you, they smell the garlic and blood of all those men that you have gorged on.
How dare you say that to me?
What's there to be so angry about, Ogress? You tried to seduce a married man. He repulsed you. So what? You could always try your tricks on some other
like the earth receiving the rain, and he too was entranced, as if he needed any of those arguments when he spoke to me about respectability and fucking commitment. Otherwise, if I so much as touched his elbow, he would have crumpled into my arms and sucked the breath through my lips.
Why don't you say the truth? Huh? You lusted for him. You wanted to have sex with him.
Yes, I did. Is that wrong? But then, something strange happened. Has it ever happened to you? You think of somebody all the time? All the bloody time? While you're eating, working, even when you're asleep. And then, it's not just sex anymore. It is as if I am dissolved in him. His body outlines mine. His fingertips awake in everything I touch. Your sister lost only her eyesight. I lost myself. Can't you see how I love him? That I have even forgotten how he hurt me? And I can't hurt anyone anymore? I have lost the need to hurt?
God's sakes. Now you sound like a fucking saint.
Fuck you! You don't have to classify me. I'm a woman. Not a saint. Not a whore. Not just a mother, daughter, sister. I am a woman. This is what they did to me. It is sick. I know. Why don't you get something done? What's the point? Does it hurt? A little. I can't breathe properly. I have to use my mouth.
You should have got something done.
He will never look at me again.
My God, woman, there are other men in this world.
nobody like him. You know what makes it so much worse?
What?
His wife. She was... You can't stop looking at her. Even I couldn't. And yet, I don't know what it was about her. My brother said she held in herself the radiance of a lamp. Soft, delicate, luminous. What is it that she has that I don't?
You were not the same. You were an asur.
So what? You were from the hills. Does that make us both less human? Do our hearts not know love?
Do our minds not know intelligence?
My brother fell in love. He tricked Sita and took her to his palace. But she kept him from touching even the hem of her garment. He said, whenever he tried getting near her, it was as if something scorched his eyes. He was obsessed. What? You too?
My brother went to take revenge for my sake. Instead, he came back home lovesick. An elephant in mask.
When you plan to take revenge, every part of you must be completely focused. Every part of you must plan the revenge.
Is that what you did?
I was so clever. You should have seen me. I pretended as if I was friends with gurus, as if I was on their side. My brother-in-law was such a dummy, just an unground bloody king. His sons were not even in the direct line of succession. The rightful heir was Dharmaputra. So
But your brother-in-law's sons were your sister's children too.
So what? Huh? Yes, they were. They were my nephews. So what? When you plan revenge, nothing else is important. Not my nephews. Not me. And finally, not even my sister. I wanted to turn everything to dust. Dust and ashes. So I started the war. Between brothers, between teacher and student, between friends, the mother of all wars.
How? You got your nephews to pick up a fight with their cousins?
How unsubtle can you be? Of course not. I merely asked my nephews to invite their cousins for a game.
A game?
Yes, a game of chance. A game of dice. I played on behalf of my nephews, in front of the entire kingdom. I threw the dice he did. He did and lost. Then the handsome one, Arjun, lost. The strong one, he lost. And then he staked himself.
Lost?
Lost. But then he staked his wife.
He staked his wife?
She was dragged to the court. The princess by her hair. My nephews, they mocked at her. They
Yes?
They tried to disrobe her. It was all part of my plan anyway. The brothers and the wife were sent into exile for 13 years. They left the city as the crowds wailed, but I didn't let my nephews forget their hate. No. I inflamed it. I coaxed their hatred. I fed it. And finally, there was war.
I started a war too. But it was not fought for my sake. It was for hers. The woman my dear brother kidnapped. Who remembered me? You know what? You were the better brother.
What's the use? My sister never spoke to me.
A married woman is supposed to belong to her husband's family, not her father's.
So she forgets everything. Her girlhood, her childhood. We used to climb hills together and watch the world spread out like a traveling fair below us. Her cheeks would redden in the wind and her hair would get into her eyes and she would pull them back so irritated, and then suddenly she would look at me and smile as if we were Why don't you put on your nose?
Does it hurt you to see me hurt?
I know nothing about hurt, okay? Hurt is a woman's emotion, a woman's.
So it's not real or important.
Just leave me alone, please. Just leave me alone.
I was wondering, how is it that you won the game so easily? You mean this Dharmaputra was such a bad player?
Told you, I am an illusionist. I doctored the dice.
I see.
What do you see? Huh? What do you see? You see nothing. You know what they did? Much before all this, when they were still drunk with their conquering prowess, they came all the way to north, to the borders of our kingdom. We fought them off. We were warriors too, you see, as strong as them. They couldn't go any further. They withdrew. But my brothers and I were taken prisoners and cast into a dungeon. And then the negotiating started. Talks, bargaining for 12 stinking months. Something would be agreed on, then withdrew. Talks would break down, then start again. The jailers would tell us when they bought us food. And then my brothers made a pact. They decided to give all their pitiable rations to me, so that I survived to take revenge. I was the youngest, you see, and the strongest.
I have never heard this story before. Are you making it up?
They died one by one. My brothers. And I survived. Just barely. And suddenly I was released. I come back home to see preparations of my sister's wedding.
You mean?
I don't know. I tell you, I don't know. I was not there. I was watching my brothers die. But you think I left them in that foul dungeon? You think I abandoned them? How would I do that? I carried them back with me.
Carried them back? My dice is made of their bones. Every time I roll their bones in my hand, I can feel their power. What chance did Dharmaputra have? Huh? Poor fellow. I felt pity for him. And the older Indians, the gurus, the kingmakers, gurus, teachers, shocked that I could do such a thing, that I could start a war. I was the villain, the sly, cunning manipulator. They turned their backs at me. They spat on the ground as I passed. Those conspirators, those fucking bloody... I want to smoke.
sorry, I keep losing my temper.
It's okay. I have a temper too.
Why are you standing there? Was there any announcement of the flight? I couldn't hear a thing in that damn loop.
No, nothing.
Kept all my gold and locked.
Books, you said?
Books, yes, that's what I meant. You know, when I read Mahabharat, I was really intrigued by this Gandhari's brother Shakuni. Do you remember him?
Yes, I suppose so.
And you thought of him as a villain?
Most probably.
Now what's the matter with you, damn it?
Nothing. What could be the matter with me? I just hate waiting.
Yes, that was always your problem. Impatience.
I beg your pardon?
Now you have become all polite.
What do you mean by impatience?
The worst of all vices. Look at Shakuni. How grandly he planned the whole thing. How patiently he waited. And he got his reward in the end.
Reward?
Don't you know the story, you stupid woman? Shakuni made Pandav brothers kill all the Kurus. The whole bloody lot of them. And you know the most interesting part? The most interesting part is that the Kauravas, at least Shakuni's nephews, thought that their uncle was strenuously working for their good. What a joke!
That is what everyone knows, that Shakuni was the wicked uncle, the power monger, who wanted her sister's children on the throne, and so he started the war.
I know. But when I read Mahabharat, I felt Shakuni wasn't given his due. So I did some more reading and finding out, and then I came across the story of his imprisonment and his brothers dying. And then I realized that he was a victim.
Just like Shoorpanakha.
Shoorpanakha? Okay, alright. If Shakuni was an underdog, then Shoorpanakha was a bitch.
You call yourself politically sensitive?
I don't need to call myself anything.
Much you represent the underdog.
Look here.
Who was Shoorpanakha?
A bitch.
A woman.
A demoness.
Why do you call her that? A demoness?
Oh God,
Because she wasn't the way men like women to be. Delicate, shy, biddable. Look at the Ramayana. The hero is straight-nosed, tall, and the villain, grotesque, with 10 heads. The heroine, slender-waisted, dazzlingly fair, and the villain, dark, swarthy, big, and so she's a vamp. She's a demoness because she speaks her mind. Because she takes up space.
my God.
What was Shoorpanakha's crime? That she approached a man with sexual desire?
So the whole thing was a plot. The wife gets herself kidnapped so that the husband could come conquering. A masterly plot.
Shoorpanakha merely wanted love.
The Aryan greed. superiority.
She didn't behave like a well-bred woman.
So, they came all the way south carrying their sword.
She showed off her breasts and thrust her hips out. So,
They thought they were invincible, is it?
they hacked off her breasts.
They were conspirators.
Violators.
They violated every human right.
They assaulted a defenseless woman.
They waged a wrongful, totally unjustified war.
Yes.
Yes. And what does history makes them to be?
History.
Isn't it history?
I thought it was myth.
What's the difference? We carry it in our bloodstream.
What?
Whether it's history or myth, we carry a Shoorpanakha
In our blood. Or a Shakuni.
or a Shakuni. Political vengeance,
Unrequited love.
hate,
Love.
destruction, annihilation.
Love.
Stop bleating that four-letter word all the time.
It is as strong as hate.
Nonsense. Fucking nonsense.
Love. Hate. Bomb. All four-letter words.
You know,
I know what is in your bag. Why is it there?
I've been planning it a long time. My home, my land is being torn apart. They took away my brother. Said he was an informer. A week later, we found his body. He had no fingernails, no toenails. Then they took away my sister, my 13-year-old sister. And then they... Do you think I have any bleeding love left in me?
Passengers, please note. Passengers for Air India flight number 250 to Chennai are requested to proceed to gate number 6 for boarding.
How will you get it through? I have a friend in security. A greedy man with a large family.
And the X-ray?
It doesn't work here.
So you have it all planned. Like Shakuni. Shakuni was killed. And so were a whole lot of other innocent people.
In Shakuni's world, no one is innocent.
We are all responsible?
Yes.
We are all responsible for each other's crimes?
What I'm doing is not a crime.
Neither was Shoorpanakha a criminal. But they hacked off her breasts.
God, is this time to talk about a woman's breast?
I will take this through.
What?
You want this to be taken through? I will take it through.
What are you playing at?
You go home or go whatever, wherever. I'll take this through.
They'll catch you, you idiot!
I will take the risk.
Are you out of your mind? Give it back!
No.
Give it back, I said!
I told you, you go away.
No! What are you? Give it back, I said!
I told you to go away.
favor?
Okay, then let's go and catch the flight. Come.
This is Shakuni. Deepali. This is Deepali as
Each other role. This is Anshu as the woman, airport traveler, and Shoorpanakha.
Sonjoy Dutta, the director.